with Kosh and Dan now at the FBI, things are going to change. And there's a lot of people that are going to be investigated. One of them is going to be Adam Schiff. And you know how I know that? Because Dan has made Adam Schiff a big part of his platform from a whole long time. You know what? He doesn't like what Adam did on the whole Russia thing. I mean, he threw out a whole faulty story there that he knew was fake. He knew was false, and yet he fed that night after night after night, day after day after day. I mean, think about the time that was wasted. And you know what? This shouldn't happen to anybody. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You don't need the Adam Schiff corrupt individuals in this world maliciously trying to create fake news to try to take you down. And I know Dan's going after Adam because, well, I mean, aside from the fact that I know him and he will, he said this. He said this on one of his last shows before he just got named to the FBI. Here we go.
Particularly good mood today. If you only knew. You ever hear that House on Fire song? It's one of his old songs. This guy's on fire, just like the Bailey song. That house on fire. He is on fire, Schiff. Well, 100% success rate of failing. Why is Adam Schiff so worried? Folks, I strongly encourage you to go back and take another look today at the Russia collusion hoax. I know it's a story that's old and a lot of people want to move on. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want to move on. We had the FBI in conjunction with the Department of Justice, officials in Congress, foreign governments, and intel people fabricate a story, invent a story that could have caused and done serious long-term harm to international relations with a nuclear-powered foe. It's kind of a big freaking deal. I'm not letting it go. And you listen to me. This is going to be very important in the coming days. I'm not letting this go. I want to find out what happened because it can never happen again. Not to a Democrat, not to a Republican, not to a Libertarian, not to any United States citizen. You do not get to alter or try to change the course of electoral politics by fabricating a story, hijacking the justice system then to give the patina of truth to a fake story. You don't get to do that. Why do I bring that up now? Because who is the ringmaster of that circus? Yes, Adam Schiff. And no, I'm not letting it go.
Mm-hmm. So you wonder why Adam's freaking out right now? Totally losing it, going nuts because cash is there. And now you get Dan Bongino on top of it. You wonder why PBS is freaking out and MSNBC is freaking out and CBS is freaking out and ABC is freaking out. And of course, CNN, as we just saw. Because Adam Schiff is doing something inappropriate in his pants. I saw that, you guys. I saw the comment. Yeah, I know. We can't help it, right? Shifty shift. The puns just keep on coming. But you know what? He's a bad guy who did some bad stuff. And you know what? It should all get exposed. It needs to be exposed. You know what else needs to be exposed? Hillary Clinton's role in all this. Because think about this. Hillary Clinton is the one that floated all that misinformation, the so-called dirty dossier from Russia. The Russia tape, remember, that allegedly Putin had on Donald Trump? They made that whole thing up. All of it. And I've read the Mueller report. I've read volumes 1 and 2, okay? I also read the dossier when it first came out. And I was like, this is nuts. Like, this doesn't read like an intelligence document. It actually reads like something I'd see in Star Magazine, plastered all over the supermarket counter. Because when you read it, it actually read not at all like a piece of intelligence, but as what it was, which was opposition research, political opposition research. And so that particular report, I think, was just extraordinarily damning in that they were able to manipulate the system. They were able to use that piece of fiction, which Hillary Clinton's law firm, Perkins Coie, commissioned from Fusion GPS, which was a group of ex-investigative reporters. Real investigation. that they were doing. I mean, like, what are these people up to, right? They're like hitmen. We just make up stuff and like throw it out there and see what happens. So they go out and they get this Christopher Steele, the ex-British spy who used to cover Moscow and ran like the Moscow bureau for the UK. And they go dig up a bunch of crapola. They didn't even dig it up. I stand corrected. They made it up. They made it up with false sources and all kinds of innuendo and all this nonsense. And then they ran it up the food chain so that they could get a FISA warrant so that they could tap the phone lines at Trump Tower. That's messed up. Okay? That is wrong. And that can't ever happen again. So I'm with Dan. I'm not over any of this. I'm not over Clinton. I'm not over Schiff. I'm not over any of it until we know for sure what really went on. I mean, I think we know. We know exactly what went on, but I think some people need to pay the price. Oh, and there's more. Because Hillary's not out of the woods even with that just yet. Quick reminder, if you haven't signed up for my financial research, please do that. 76 Research. My gift to you, code word dollar. We're running a special, but I talk about it every day because I just want you all to have this. It's really, really, really good stuff. And I want you to be able to partake in the greatness that is coming for our economy. I really fundamentally believe that. And it's sometimes hard, I get it, as an investor to know what to invest in. Well, we're here for you. I've spent my whole career, first in finance and then obviously in financial news. And my co-founder at 76, Rob Horton, has spent 2 decades running billions of dollars. So between the two of us, we know a thing or two. And we do have some good ideas that I'd like to share with you. You can get it for code word dollar for the first 2 months. It goes to $9.95 thereafter. You can also get the model portfolios. Check these out because we have 10 to 15 names in each one of these. You get American Resilience, Inflation Protection, Income Builder portfolio. You can get them all if you join our Founders Club. So that's actually the best value. But it is important to be thinking about yourself and your own future at a time like this. I would say that Hillary Clinton, she better watch out for her future. This is Dan with Hillary. Back when he was her Secret Service detail. Okay? So he knows where the bodies are buried, so to speak. What I'd say is that Dan might want to look into, and I think he will be looking into, something called CGI. Have you heard of CGI? The Clinton Global Initiative. Hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, were funneled through CGI. And a lot of this money came in, the bulk of the money came in when she was Secretary of State, actually, in that picture. And I was always like, how does this happen? Like, how can her husband be running CGI where he's traveling around all these emerging market countries all over the world and saying, okay, yeah, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I'll do a $750,000 speech for you in Kazakhstan. I'll do a $500,000 speech for you in Moscow. And by the way, make sure you donate to CGI. They donate, and she is Secretary of State. I mean, conflict of interest, anyone? Anyone? I would think. Apparently, Barack Obama wasn't happy about it. He had all these rules about how your family members couldn't be involved in any lobbying efforts. It's why Joe Biden's son, Hunter, never bothered to register as a foreign lobbyist, which actually puts him in violation of the law and is one of the reasons why he had to get pardoned by Daddy. I want to see him, too, have to answer some questions because, again, he's pardoned. Therefore, if he's called in to testify, he is going to have to answer some things. And while he's pardoned criminally, he's not pardoned civilly. So we could still claw back that money. A lot of it, which seems to have come from Ukraine. But he was small potatoes, honestly, compared to what Hillary Clinton was up to and Bill Clinton. If what Peter Schweizer in his book, Clinton Cash, that's a tongue twister. If what he alleges is actually true, you had some serious stuff to be looking at. Because he's saying, look at all these hundreds of millions of dollars. Did they ever actually wind up with the people? I mean, Haiti, for example. Only 10% of the funds that were raised to go to Haiti actually wound up in the hands of the people. The guy who was running Haiti at the time was extremely critical of it. In all these other, these emerging market developing countries where they have very like loosey-goosey ethics rules. And I think, like, let's just be honest, Bill Clinton also had some, dare I say, loosey-goosey ethic rules. If he had any ethics. So he's running CGI. People are like, okay, I'll pay all this money, and I suddenly get my photo with you and maybe access to the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. That is what Dan is going to be investigating alongside Adam Schiff. So it is about to get interesting.